So I was just watching some stuff on YouTube about polls and stuff about Biden and Trump, and I don't really want to get into politics, but I just want to state a couple of things that are obvious. It shows that Biden's losing to Trump. I mean, Trump is an ignorant orange guy, I get that, and Biden is just an ignorant guy. What they don't understand is certain things like, Biden thinks that infrastructure was a big thing for everybody in America to get that done. But what he doesn't understand is that doesn't affect me today. That's down the road, and especially down here in Georgia, it doesn't affect me. When am I going to see all that infrastructure money come to me? How does it affect me right now? It doesn't. What Biden doesn't understand is that we're fighting a war in Ukraine. Our soldiers aren't, but we're paying for all that. Hundreds of billions of dollars already spent in Ukraine. And now with Israel and Hamas, more money's going out. And they talk about Taiwan and stuff like that. Those are all geopolitical things that are going on, and they're also, foreign policy. That really hurts us. When we got people in America that are hungry, homeless, and we don't have, our infrastructure is crumbling, but none of that's really being done because it's going to take years and decades to get done. And most of that money goes up to the Northeast, not to doing rails for everybody and traveling and stuff like that. So there's a big problem. But when it comes to like the Ukraine, what Biden doesn't understand is that it's a very hard thing for Americans because, first of all, Trump got, impeached for it. So that's all in our mind for all of the great phone call and all the rest of that stuff. But then when we go back and we look at, now we're in Ukraine. Biden's son worked for Burisma in Ukraine. How are we spending so much money financing Ukraine and financing this war and doing those things? That isn't helping us domestically. And then when you go, even when you go home domestically, what has Biden really done for us? Not a whole heck of a lot for the average day citizen. You started this $600 a month thing for gig workers. If you get anything over $600, you've got to report it. And now you're going to have all these IRS agents, quote unquote, that they're really for to help to go after the rich guys that are evading the taxes. We all know that's a ruse. The low hanging fruit is always the middle class and the poor. And that's why they coming after the waitresses and the waiters and the people getting tips and stuff like that. Because those are the guys really hurting the system, right? That's the problem. That when we look at those kind of things, Biden doesn't get that. Biden doesn't get that at all. The marijuana stuff, my gosh, he promised that in his first 120 days. That's nothing. This is 3 years. We still haven't got nothing done on that. And it's not just Biden, it's the whole Democratic Party. But when we look at the Democratic Party and they say that, this is a free society and stuff like that, but we're not free to really vote because it's a two-party plurality system where Republicans or Democrats. If you're a third party, well, they don't want to talk about that because those guys have no chance. There's that Jill Stein that got something. They blamed it for Hillary losing back in 2016. And then you go look at now with RFK coming out, and there's Jill Stein again, and there's other people that are running, but they can't get any traction because why? The big networks, NBC, MSNBC, all those ones, Fox News, all those guys. What do? They don't let everybody else into it. All they ever talk about in these polls is what happens with Trump and Biden. Not about what could RFK do. They don't give anybody else a chance. But yet, if you do, you say, well, he's just going to steal votes from either Trump or Biden, and therefore we're kind of screwed again. It's unbelievable what our country's turned into, especially when it comes to our domestic policy and what's really happening in America. It's sad to see that both Republicans and Democrats really don't care about us anymore. And why would we all want to? There's more independence. That's the big deal in America. And that's why we need to look at outside and get rid of the corporation Democrats, the corporate Republicans, big pharma, the automotive industry, they got bailed out. The housing industry got bailed out. But what's happening with all the rest of us? Did we all get bailed out? Oh no, we got that stimulus money. But you know what that stimulus money did? Even like last year, I don't make a lot of money, but for the first time, and I claim zero as exemptions. So I get all the money taken out. But last year, I still had to pay in over $1,000 in taxes because why? I got stimulus money. We all got it. Did you get the same thing happen to you? How much did you guys pay back? Leave comments below. But hey, I'm MT with empty promises to you. And what these politicians are giving us is a lot of empty promises. And it's got to stop. That's why we got to look at these third-party candidates to get these guys out of office and put in people that can actually help us out and make sure things get done. The environment does need saving. There's no doubt about it. But we can't do it with all the big corporations and all these big people in government saying, you know what, you got to either vote Democrat or Republican. I mean, look what happened with the abortion laws. Are we really fighting that? Now it's back to the states and everything else. What has Biden really done? And I ask, what has Biden really done for domestically for us? And don't tell me about how he's got the infrastructure plan, or he's got, you know what, we're gonna go after those rich people by getting more IRS agents. That's just a ruse, a total ruse is what that is. Because all they're gonna do is come after us, the small guys, the medium guys. They're not going to go after the rich guys. They got even more lawyers and accountants than anybody. That's a bunch of joke and gibberish. Those guys get the best people and all these things. And what are we doing? What happened to all the student loan stuff? Guess what? Nothing's happening. You know what? All those things that Biden promised are coming back to haunt him again. And that's why he'll lose. I mean, when they show these polls, if an independent ran and they actually got some coverage, they would win. They will win. So hey guys, anyways, I'm empty with empty promises to you. Let's not get sucked into all the empty promises to you from our government officials. We got to take it back and make it ours again. It's time for everything to change. All right, go out and have yourself a great day. Remember, stay in your lane.